what it is, YouTube. Big G here. Penny Pinchers Transport, that's right. Released on to Schneider National since June of 2017. Haven't did a lot of videos here lately because the roads has been real bad. Got through the holidays. Hopefully everybody is starting off with a pretty good new year. Keep your fingers crossed if you got to deal with the tax man. This will be my first rip on that. Although they told me I may get a penalty for not paying quarterly. I don't know how true that is. If anybody knows any info on that, I'll be looking up some information on that BS. So anyway, got a 2013 Freightliner Cascadia Evolution. It's been doing pretty good. No major repairs. Had to put some front steers on it, light bulbs, some wiring, a couple little air leaks, nothing real serious. Hadn't spent a lot of money on this truck, but I'm getting ready to have to replace the turbo. Schneider, on my third quarterly inspection with them, kind of noticed there was a little bit of exhaust powder. And I guess when it starts doing that, they can ding you on it to where you need to, because you may be getting fumes in the cab or whatever the case may be, or your turbo can go out. So that'll be my next big thing to do on the truck. But anyway, I'm out here rolling, man. This has been a really good week. I've been taking it real easy. I ain't been running real high numbers because of the holidays. Been trying to hang out at the house. But I ran up in Erie, PA like a couple days after they got hit with that 53 inches, and they were probably getting like another 8 to 10 that day. And then last week I had a really good week for running a 5-day week. I did like 3,700, which wasn't bad considering I drove in shitty weather 3 days out of the 5. And I had ice, about 200 miles of black ice, which was pretty bad, between Missouri and Kansas City last week. And then the next day wasn't too bad. The storm had moved, but when I come out of Illinois and crossed into Kentucky on 24, it was trashed. I was able to get like 60 miles and had to shut down at a Walmart because there was no parking at none of the truck stops. And there was trucks jackknifed, cars ran off the road everywhere, and it was like there was no plows out. It was horrible. So last week was an exhausting work week, man. This week has been good. Pretty much smooth sailing this week. So I have no complaints. I'm up here just about 30 miles before you get west of Cleveland on I-80, the turnpike. And I'm pretty much just at one of these travel plazas, just shutting it down for the night. I've been running the midnight one in the morning, and it's 10:30 now, and I thought I'm not going to kill myself. I'd like to start early in the morning versus at 10 or 11 and running all night. So I shut down a little early. I still had a couple good hours to run, but I decided to shut it down and start earlier because I'm running pretty good. I only got like 150 miles to my drop off in the morning. So it is what it is. It's been going pretty good. Excuse me a second. Sorry to hold everyone up. I'm just finishing up my post trip so I can log off real quick on this e-log, which become in effect on December 19th. Now everybody's got one unless you got a 99 or older truck, or you work for a farmer or something. I mean, there's a few stipulations where you don't have to have them, but pretty much 80% of the highway drivers that work for carriers or something like that, you pretty much got them now. So and it's jacked up parking real bad. These guys that's never had to run on them, I feel them. I was on that same mess when I first got into this stuff, racing the clock and then shutting down 30 minutes from the house and all that BS. It definitely takes some adjustments and getting used to the whole being timed, and you know, normally if you have 30 minutes to get to the house and you just running on paper, you could always make that look good and make it home, but now it won't fly. You know, it don't fly no more. So so anyway, I will say, I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with this app. It's called Trucker's Path. It's great if you're new to the whole e-log and you're not familiar with the a lot of the parking. I'm gonna see if this camera will flip. I don't know if it will. Maybe not. Let me see here. But anyway, this is Trucker's Path. As you can see on that little blue dot right there. I don't know if you can tell. It's right there. That's a big body of water. I'm right here by Cleveland. It tells you where all the truck stops, weight scales, rest areas. You can also go on there and add Walmarts. Those are all your Walmarts. I don't leave them on there because it kills. Hotels, which are down here. But it's great. I don't usually leave Walmarts on there unless it's desperate, because the Walmarts will kill the map. As you can see, there's Cleveland right there. But that's the Trucker Path. It's pretty much just like Waze. You know, Waze is like the new age CB. Everybody's on their fucking headset, so no one has radios, and if they do, they don't hear them because they got them turned down so they can be on the radio. So that's kind of jacked up. I'm an old school, so I like having my CB radio. But it don't get used as much as it used to, unfortunately, because everybody's using Waze, and it's word of mouth. You know, if someone says, hey, there's a bear out there, well, you see the cop now. If someone says there was a cop there, pothole, icy road conditions, it is kind of nice just to glance over at it if you need it, or you use it as your map versus a Google map or something. So, you know, that's nice, but it's always like word of mouth. So if you do pass a state police or something and it's not on your Waze, it's because someone didn't see him to put him there, or he had just showed up, or they just didn't put him there. So it's kind of like the CB. You know, you'd be going down the highway and there'd be like a couple bears in the middle clocking people, and just some driver just wasn't paying attention or never come across the CB to let you know, which they don't anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter unless you get on there and ask, and who knows if their word's good, you know. But yeah, I'm just kind of giving an update, man. Just trying to get back on this hard grind. I've been trying to grind hard again. Like, and when I grind hard, it's 5 days, sometimes 6. I don't get out here and run 7 days. I'm not doing it. I don't have that extreme company truck payment that you'll never end up owning. You know, I went out and bought mine from Lone Mountain Leasing, and my payments is shit, about a quarter of what these guys are paying for these other trucks. Almost $4 grand, $3,800. You know, hell no. Mine's like $1,345 a month or $1,400. You know, depending on where I'm at, because you can do it. You can pay bi-monthly or monthly or whatever, but it's still financed. So, but anyway, it's just a quick update. I ain't did no videos, man. Anyone got any questions? I'm just out here kind of giving everybody an update. I had a few minutes to chill while I was doing this little post trip. I'm gonna go in here and get some DEF, because one thing about a lot of these travel plazas, they don't have DEF at the pumps. I'm down to 1 bar. It just went down to 1 bar, but I don't like gambling on anything, so I'm gonna at least go buy a bottle and dump it in here and try to get me a couple more bars, or at least another one, to where I can get to Pilot or something and get filled up. I did try to stay at a Pilot, which shockingly it was like 30 degrees. It was in Crown Point, like around the 240 on 65 up by Gary, Indiana, in that area. And the pump I pulled up to, they all were shooting some code and none of them were working. So I don't know if they were out or they're still froze up. But DEF fluid in the Midwest the last couple weeks has been a joke. So I had intentionally been running the south, not just because of that, just because I got pounded so bad that week that storm hit Erie, PA. I just decided not to even run in that area, and even though I went south and west, I still hit ice and snow. So there was no escaping it. It's just the whole country has been, you know, cold. And I mean, you seen there was snow in Texas a couple days ago, but you know, it is what it is, man. We're just out here still grinding. Anyone got any questions? You know, at least on the Schneider, there's a lot of videos out here about people, you know, talking about the load board and this and that. And I feel like my personal opinion on the load board is it caters to what you like to run. I don't know if that sounds right, because like if I start running east, there's always a gazillion loads going east. So let me take that back. There's always a gazillion loads going east, and yeah, they're pay closer to $2 a mile or better, but and you can get light loads. I get a lot of light loads. Like all last week, I didn't pull one load over 16,000 pounds. And this week is the same. I haven't pulled one load over 16,000 pounds this week so far. In fact, 14.4 is like the heaviest load that I had. This is only like 13.4. I do pull a lot of potato chips and just pharmaceutical, just light stuff, you know. So I don't burn a lot of fuel too. But anyway, East Coast, you might find good loads going east that are not real heavy and pay like pretty good, you know, worth it. But you get over there, then you're going to have to pull 40,000 plus for $1 a mile. And then you got hills. So you're tearing up all kinds of fuel. You're working your truck hard. So if you take that $2 you ran there and you're running for $1 or less back, which is really not even covering your fuel because you're wearing your truck out with the weight. It's like you're kind of making $1.50 going both ways if you break it up that way. So if you stay in the Midwest and run the South for these $1.50 plus miles, and you're staying the lower weights, better weather condition, less hills, I think you're doing the same. And that's my numbers. Actually, I've ran East Coast quite a bit here the last couple months, and here in the last 3 weeks I've been running over here, and my numbers are better, even though my loads aren't paying as much, but I'm getting the same amount going there and back. So it's always the same. I'm getting $1.60 going down and $1.40 coming back. It's better than running for $1.97 out East Coast and coming back for $1 or less. And you're always pulling like heavy ass stuff out of the East back to the Midwest or something. So my theory is a little different. Everybody has their own opinion. That's how I see. Plus, I work the hell out of my truck pulling them little hills out east. Because you're always pulling heavy. So to me, I hate running the East Coast. And I did it because you see them big dollars just say, oh, we'll pay you $1,200 for 400 or 500 miles. You're like, man, that's not bad, because you can do that in like 8 hours or less, you know, 6.5 hours for $800. And yeah, you get over there, but coming back, you're going to be getting damn near $400 for like 420 miles. You're not even getting a full $1 a mile. So, and the load's going to be extremely heavy, so you're burning all your fuel. So, I mean, that's my opinion on that. So, because I was running so much East Coast, my load board didn't have a lot of direction. But now that I've been running kind of more Southwest Alabama, St. Louis, Texas, now my load board's showing more of those loads. that it's kind of figuring. So I don't know if like they control it, they kind of like, hey, this guy likes going this way, let's show him. I don't really know. I don't know if there's they're just a crap load of loads that get thrown on there. Here, these are for you guys. I don't know anything about it. I don't think it's always the same, but I do feel like it kind of caters to the direction you like to run. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the way I feel. So, and I could be wrong, and this is just my opinion. You know, these are all opinions. I've been doing okay with it. Of course, I don't have this outrageous truck payment, and I can still make it home when I want. You know, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and so it's been working for me. I have no real complaints. I've only had maybe a couple loads cancel on me. And of course you're going to get somewhere where it says it's a drop and hook, and then you end up having to live unload. But it happens the other way. You might get to a drop and hook or a live unload, which I've had happen twice at the Kroger in Indianapolis, and they'll say, oh no, this is a drop and hook. So you're thinking it's a 3-hour unload time, and they tell you just to drop your load and grab an empty and leave. I'm at the house. That makes me even happier because I'm home. That was my get home load. So that always makes you, because you're always going to have to do something that you don't want just to get home, so you don't have to deadhead so far. Because if I can't find a load directly into Indianapolis, and I can only get to Columbus coming from the east, or I can only get to Louisville, I will deadhead that hour and a half or that 2 hours to get home, because I'm not staying out just because I'm that far away. So, that's how I make it home. I just, 90% of the time I make it to Indy, 80% of the time. But every once in a while I have to stretch it from Columbus or Cincinnati, you know, to make it home. But that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I make it home. So, that's it, man. Anyone got any questions? I know this video is a little longer. I always try to keep it short. I'm going to quit saying that shit because I don't do them enough to keep them short. So maybe I'll get back into that if I have some more information. But it's just the holidays and hanging with the family. I hope everyone has a good year. Good luck with this whole tax thing. And if you're just getting started out here, don't get discouraged, man. You know, find your path. You know, everybody's got their own science and everybody's got their own way. So you can't just go off of everyone's videos. You can't go off of mine. I don't try to say, hey, this is how it is, because I don't know. This is how it's going for me. It may go different for you. It's Big G. I'm out of here, man. You guys have a good one. Peace.